What's up, friends? This is Manni, and let me update you about everything regarding War Robots, especially how the new Bedwyr Titan is going to completely dominate and break War Robots in the months to come, because we just learned what the legendary pilot will be, and so much ahead, it's going to be insane. So let me show you this stuff. No gameplay, but I can show you things too. A Hugo Booker first is the legendary pilot coming for the Shenlu. So for every jump the Shenlu makes during its ability, it will get a 7% damage boost. And he already brings Fenrir level tank firepower to the table per teleport. I mean, that is already insane, yeah? And now that is gonna get increased of 7% per jump. He jumps 4 times, 7, 14, 21, 28% more damage. Although, I'm not sure if the 28 is already the jump back, but after that it resets. I don't know if that really is necessary, because the Shenlu is already pretty insane when it comes to how much damage it does. Plus, it gets the absorber with each jump, right? So, really critical. By the way, I don't recognize these faces here next to the legendary pilot, right? I don't know who these people are. And I don't think this here is, holy moly, I don't think our community manager, but I recognize this face. Tofsla, greetings to you, man. I recognize him for sure, and that lets me believe that the rest is probably also the Pixonic team that finds themselves here in these little holograms. So very interesting. Just spotted that. Anyways, then we have the Noir probably, Liming and Feng Bao coming in. So special editions with a little bit more powerful, I think 10% or 5% more powerful. It's not going to change too much, but keep in mind you can combine this with the Shenlu that will get 7% more damage per jump, plus another 5 or 10 per weapon, if it is the special edition. You just have to add these things up, and when you do, the outcome is no longer a small change, it's a massive change. And that is the case with the new Bedwyr Titan. Ladies and gentlemen, hold yourself tight to something, because the next news is gonna be bad. I'm very sorry, I have to show this to you. Toshiro Kurusawa is the new legendary pilot coming for the Bedwyr Titan that we have tested on the test server. And the first thing already breaks the game completely. Toshiro's protection. The durability of the barrier field is increased by 5 seconds. The barrier on the test server, I believe, had 8 or 10 seconds durability. We're talking about an unbreakable absorber shield that covers the 40% of the front of the Titan. And it turns with you, so you can always point it towards the enemy. And I think it was 8 to 10 seconds. That is 5 seconds increased. If it was 10, that's a 50% increase. If it was 8 seconds before, then it is like a 60-70% increase of the duration of the impenetrable absorber shield. It's completely breaking the game. Toshiro's resilience, the durability of the Bedwyr, is increased by 10%. Remember that we already had around 1 million HP or more when we spawned the Bedwyr on the test server, and there were not any pilots, no pilot skills whatsoever. So you can add this pilot skill plus plenty of other pilot skills. The Titan will be deployed with 1.6 million HP later without any bonuses. Not counting in any durability amplifiers, not even counting in the fact that you can increase your health by blocking damage with the absorber shield with the Bedwyr Titan, which is getting increased with the legendary pilot too, because all legendary pilots for Titans bring 3 abilities. Resourcefulness, maximum bonus durability from damage received to the absorber shield is increased by 15%. I'm not sure how much it did before, 10 or 15% all by itself, and now it's another 15% more durability as you block damage with the absorber shield that now lasts 50% longer or more on this thing. Pixonic, I'm really hoping these leaks are wrong, or that you are seriously reconsidering these numbers. The absorber shield on the Bedwyr was already very long, and it has a very short cooldown. The cooldown needs to be longer, by the way, and the duration that is already so long should never be increased more than 2 seconds. I mean, seriously, don't do it. This is going to completely upset the health of this game if you do this. And the durability increase is with these bonuses, it's insane. You're ending up with something that is not impossible to be killed. And I just have to say this right here, ladies and gentlemen, because we see this happen from time to time. We're going on the test server and we're testing things in a condition that is not the reality later on the live server, Pixonic. And you know that because you're getting an easy approval from us content creators because you're testing it in an unfinished condition where it's easier to get this acceptance from the players because it's not as broken. Yeah, it is critical, very critical, but it is still, well, it's doable, yeah? But you already know you're having the legendary pilot in mind that will now increase it no longer by 10 or 15% how it used to be. It is a whopping 60% bonus power to that Titan, just with a legendary pilot that you sneak in later, and that will make something that we previously barely agreed to be something that we could never accept, because it's so health-breaking for this game. And this seems to be a strategy now, and it's not okay, man. Seriously, no. This Titan pilot, please reconsider. Please reconsider, because that is too much. But we're not done yet. Remember when we showed you when I showed you the video with the rebalance and gave you all the rebalance changes were tested? We have a rebalance for the rebalance now. And a lot of things have changed. I marked them here, so we don't have to look through them. By the way, Kestrel drone, unfortunately, is not among the changes. I was hoping Pixonic would reconsider that, because this is really wrong. Not just does the Kestrel drone receive a little nerf, right? It is changing its entire functionality to the point where when you used it before, it's almost guaranteed you don't want to use it afterwards. At least not on that robot, because it will function completely different. So Pixonic, please reconsider. You haven't done it yet, apparently, because it's still standing here, the same change. And it is really bad. I'm talking about the fact that it will no longer work on kill, which it did before, but it will be working on stealth, changing anything, everything about it. Not even talking about the rebalance changes itself, but this changes how the drone functions. It's wrong. So I see two options. If you really want to go through this, you have to compensate or refund every player who got this drone, because this is not a rebalance. This is a complete deletion of what was once there that people have bought. You cannot do this, in my opinion, really. So either please scratch this part of the nerf here, I hope you can see it when I zoom in. Please scratch this completely, or refund every player for having purchased or got Kestrel drone. I don't see any other choice, seriously. And I feel like the easiest would be just to leave this part out. Let the drone stay how it is. You make it different. You already nerf it, right? Let it be like that. Let people enjoy what they bought and how they bought it for. Let them continue using it. But this is not the real point of this thing. I'm just hoping that Pixonic is going to reconsider this. Paladin, gray durability. Here they did. Here they heard us. Remember when I told you, hey, this is too much of a change for the Paladin. Similar to the Kestrel, it should change, stay at least somewhat similar to what it used to be in functionality, and it was first to 10. They first introduced this 25 to only 10% gray HP restore, and I said, hey guys, don't go below 18%. It is too much of a change. They went below 18, but only to 17, and fixed that. So thanks for that, Pixonic. That is really good. I'm very happy that you did listen to us here and not change it too drastically. And please, that also gives me hope about this one. Please listen to us here. I mean, there's really no player who wants this, and I feel like it would be important. Yeah. Also, but they sneak another nerf in instead, where the duration of your shield only lasts 8 seconds. But that also means that if you didn't deplete the shield, you'll get an increased health, like a health restore instead of the shield, and it will come in sooner than before. But it is overall a nerf, this part that they added here. Yeah, so then we have the Newton. The long shot damage was previously 30, minus 30% damage nerf. Now it's minus 28, so they scratched 2%. Rook castling ability is a massive change. It was previously nerfed by 15% damage, and now they set it to 25%. So you do even less damage now with the castling. And the gray HP damage reduction is insane. Ladies and gentlemen, it was introduced as minus 25%, from 35% gray damage reduction to 25% it was introduced, so 10% less. Now they reduce it to 15%. That is now a 20% gray damage reduction nerf loss that you have. It is twice as much nerf now as it was before in the earlier introduced nerf. That is a massive change. Again, I don't think this is something you should be doing. This is something that deserves reconsideration. Ophion gets a 10% durability buff added into the rebalance, because overall it's getting a strong nerf, especially in regards to the flight duration. That is the biggest nerf of all of them. But it does get a 10% durability buff now into the rebalance thrown in. But they also throw in an absorber damage bonus, damage decreased by 20%. When you block damage with the shield, you get 20% less bonus damage for it. Fulgur was damage nerf 25%. It's now 28.5%, so 3.5% more damage nerfed. And what I was asking Pixonic to think about maybe is, instead of changing the reload from 5 to 12 seconds, maybe consider letting it do a little less damage at longest range while keeping damage at short range, because the weapon, in my opinion, is not overpowered in a short and middle range scenario. It is just ridiculous that you can one-shot full Titans at maximum 800 meters range. That was just too powerful, and that was wrong. And if they did it like Scourge, Calamity and so on, or Cataclysm, that would be addressed without completely deleting the game from your arsenals and still letting you enjoy that game with a 5-second reload, or maybe make it 6 seconds, yeah? 7 tops. But don't make it 12. It's too much change. It's a 130% damage reload increase. From 100% to 230% reload speed, if we formulate the words differently. It is too drastic of a change. No rebalance should ever be this drastic. Never, right? And that's why I thought maybe we can come up with a compromise that will be a middle way between these two, right? And I thought this, even though I heard you guys, it's a sniper weapon, and as that, it should do a lot of damage at range. Yeah, but if you have the choice between your sniper weapon receiving a 130% reload nerf, or just losing damage in sniping only and keeping it at least somewhat relevant in the other scenarios, I think you're gonna go with option 2 that I suggested as a compromise, right? I mean, I'm just trying to help the game here. And you guys, as my viewers and players who are using these things. Cesta's damage, instead of 25%, only a 15% damage nerf, so less nerf. Xyphos damage, instead of 25%, that was now introduced, so also less nerf. But the Labrys, instead of 25, it gets a bigger damage nerf of 35%. So it's the only one they made worse. Even more worse to the rebalance. It's the medium version, the Labrys, for those who are wondering. I'm not quite sure why it is, but yeah, medium weapons are more prominent, more used in the game overall, because the meta robots tend to use medium weapons, right? Ophion and so on. Shatter and Splinter. Oh gosh, which one is the medium? Damage, instead of 22.5%, a 30% damage boost. And instead of 40% for the, I think, light weapon is Splinter, 42% nerf on the Splinter. 42%. Again, nerfs like this, Pixonic, should never exist. If you get something wrong, you can get it wrong by 10 or 15%. But if you're saying you got it wrong by 40%, then you have failed at your job. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to insult anybody, but if you say a rebalance like this is necessary, imagine how wrong you made it in the first place, right? And this would have been a massive fail on your part if this is now needed. 42% nerf, too much. No rebalance, no change should ever be this drastic. Just in general. However, Tamer and Trickster, remember how they nerfed it by 80%, or even 90% when you count the other parts of the nerf inside, and 80% was just a shot interval nerf, how much slower the weapon fires. They changed this. It's no longer 80%. They set it from shot interval 1.0, so 10 shots per second, to 0.3 shots per second. 3 shots per second, right. And at first, they increased the interval from 0.1, no, I think I'm messing up something here, but instead of 0.1 to 0.5, it's now 0.3. So your weapon will fire faster than it was before. Before in the first rebalance. It's hard to wrap your head around this, but it is no longer an 80% shot interval nerf. It is now a 60... I don't even know. No, 45% damage shot interval nerf. Or 50, I don't know, something like this. So your weapon will fire much faster than the originally intended nerf, but it will still be firing significantly much slower than it was usually before on the live server. So big nerfs, but no longer 90%. Now the whole overall nerf is maybe 50%. Still, too much change, too much drastic change. Same goes for the Trickster, and Trickster even suffers more because the duration of the dot goes down by from 15 to 5 seconds. So the dot lasts much shorter, and that, in addition to the shot interval, still equals around 80-90% nerf, even after changing it. It's really big. Too much. Then we have an additional new changes. Vara and Mahavara now have a slowdown change. So maximum 100 stacks. 0, so it just slows you down a little less fast. The duration, I don't understand this, but it's not very important. Then we have Ultimate Blaze and Igniter. Slowdown is also changed here. So they said here they want to address slowdown effects. So that's a good thing, by the way. I like that. Because I think we have an effect carousel in the game that's way too crazy. And I believe that looking at that, changing effects and making them less prominent is a good thing to do. But the shot interval is a big change from Ultimate Blaze and Ultimate Igniter. Important though, mind you, it's not the regular Blaze and regular Igniter getting that buff. Nope, it's only for the Ultimate that already came in way more powerful than the regular versions. And now the Ultimate's getting an even bigger buff and still not carrying that buff, at least that part of the buff, over to the regular versions. Why? If you understand that this needs to happen with these weapons because they're not good enough in the game itself, even among the Ultimate weapons, that same necessity would also obviously logically apply to the non-Ultimate versions. Pixonic, my tip here, bring the same change also for the regular version of Igniter and Blaze, because it needs to happen. And the buff is shot interval from 0.05 to 0.023. That is a 50% or actually 100%. You fire more than 100% faster. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to judge these numbers. I'm not sure, but you're firing much faster with the shot intervals, if I see that correctly. Yeah. And the ammo also goes up from 200 to 400, so twice the ammo capacity and much faster fire rate. Actually, hold on. If it was 0.1, it would be 100% faster firing. 0.2 would be 200%, would be 300% faster firing, and it's almost 2.25. It's like 4... Am I seeing this correctly? There's like 400% faster fire rate? Shot interval? But the ammo capacity goes up too, so you're going to still fire the weapon empty faster than before because you have such an incredible fire rate increase of 400% that the 200% ammo capacity are still going to be depleted twice as fast as before. The overall damage boost will be like 4 times. If I understand this correctly, you will do 4 times the amount of damage with Ultimate Blaze and Igniter. Seems ridiculous for a weapon that already dealt a lot of damage before as an Ultimate version. But again, I think this should be also carrying over the regular version. And maybe this is a little bit too much. Maybe I misunderstand something here, but if I read this correctly and I understand it correctly, it would equal out to a 350 to 400% fire rate increase. Correct me if I'm wrong though. Splinter, Shatter, Brisant. Slowdown also being addressed here. Hiruko slowdown being addressed. I don't even know what that is. It's a drone, yeah? I think it's a drone. It's not a weapon. Gravity amplifier. Slowdown, oh, hold on. Duration 5 seconds. Maximum stack 12. 12 maximum stack. Minus 0.007 per stack. 8 seconds duration. Goes to 5 seconds duration. And per stack. Oh, okay. So this is a difference. I have to check this versus this entire thing. So what was 12 stack max will be 80 stacks, but only 0.01 per stack. Duration goes down to 5 seconds. The duration, we can all understand, it's very good that the duration goes down by 3 seconds. And I think overall it will stack less often or less. And the Frozen Scorn has a similar thing. But wait, isn't that for corrosion? No, the roulette was corrosion. Frozen Scorn also slows down, right? And also here the duration... No, this duration stays the same, but the stacks filling up slower, I think. Yeah, so this is that. By the way, if you want good tips and tricks regarding, upcoming changes, I never showed this to you, or I have, or rarely. There's a Robots Wiki, obviously, and it's a great resource because we have here the summary, for example, for the new Noir Shenlu, which is also coming, the Noir version of Shenlu as well. So not just the Shenlu weapons or the Fengbao and Liming, the Shenlu itself will also get another 5%, 10% damage boost. HP boost with a special edition version. Again, the weapons get it, the legendary pilot comes in, and the special edition of the weapons, the robot itself. All together, you add it all up, you have a 20% better performing setup than before. To something that was already very critical and very powerful before, always ends up being too powerful later. Chainlink here, that's the stats on the Noir Shenlu and Liming. But what I want to show you here on the wiki is that you always get very special information, hidden stats that you can't find, that our wiki creator here is very good at finding out. For example, look at all the information you get about the ultimate version of the Aochun. Right? So many things that you don't know. Simply, you don't know the ammo capacity of 4,000 liters and the damage, how much liters are happening of the flamethrower, that the ammo type is energy because there is not really a heat type of damage output, then the area effect of the flamethrower was nerfed to 10 meters from 14. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't looked here. Reload type and shot interval 0.01 second per flamethrower particle. Range nerfed to 500 instead of range. Wait, it's a buff? So the flamethrower will go to 500 meters before it was 350. So the ultimate Aochun will fire at the flamethrower at 500 meters. Is that true? Landing time. Also the reload. Wait. There was something else I wanted to show you. The cooldown. Where was it? The cooldown that goes down significantly. I can't find it now. I saw it before, but yeah, if I'm linking it to you guys here in the down in the description pinned comment, check out the wiki because there's a lot of hidden information about things that you would not know otherwise if you didn't check it out. So this video is already long enough. I've given you all the changes that are relevant right now, especially with the Bedwyr Titan, and I believe there's a lot of things that Pixonic really needs to reconsider. Very important. So thanks for listening to me. Thanks for watching this video or hearing it. And catch you in the next video. Manni signing off. Bye-bye, my friends.